Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Grab your coffee and let's talk. Today, we're going to be talking about the $1,000,000 question. Literally. Can you retire? Can anybody retire on less than $1,000,000?
Now, some people might think, well, that's ridiculously
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the answer is yes, you can.
Definitely yes.
But we have watched so many of these YouTube video things. It's like, you have to have $1,000,000, at least $1,000,000, and you can't retire and blah, blah.
Baloney.
Yeah, well, that's what we say, baloney. We don't have anywhere near $1 million.
No.
And you can retire and you can live well. I think the bottom line is this. You have to be prepared and you have to know where you live. If we lived in California, where the cost of living is through the roof, we might have to have $1 million to retire and retire comfortably. But we don't live in California.
Thank goodness. We might want to go there visit. We used to want to go there visit. I don't know if we do now or not, but it would be nice.
We live in a part of the country where the cost of living is not great. And before we retired, we paid off all debt. We are debt free. So the income that we have coming in, we can use it to travel, to do the things that we want to do. And we have a great retired life, and we don't have anywhere near $1 million.
No, nowhere near.
So don't let these people fill your heads with all this stuff. If you don't have $1 million, you can't retire.
You can do it.
Yes, you
just start planning right now.
Now we're going to take a look at some statistics over the United States, and you can see clearly that most people don't have $1 million. In 2019, the average of those ages 65 to 74 had an average of $425,000 saved. That's not anywhere near $1 million.
No, that's half. And some of those, that's the average. So some of those were much less than 426,000, probably 300,000, and some were probably a little bit more, maybe 500,000-600,000. So you can retire easily with less than $1 million.
Those people 75 and older had an average of $375,000 saved. So that's significantly less.
Yeah.
Ages 65 to 74 was $164,000 that they had saved. So that was the median. And $164,000 is nowhere close to $1 million. And then the median of the 75 and older had $83,000 saved. So that's the median.
Yeah.
So you don't need anywhere near $1 million unless you have a high cost of living where you live, you have a lot of debt, and maybe you have a really expensive lifestyle. We live simple. We don't have an expensive lifestyle. We just like to travel and do things. So.
And we plan it around our budget. That's why it's so important to do a yearly budget to see how much things are going to be costing at that time, the cost of living for travel and stuff. Some years we might take 4 or 5 trips, and then other years, if the cost of living goes up and traveling goes up, gas and etc., we might cut it down to 2 or 3 or 1 or 2. But it's planning. It's all in planning and being prepared and starting right now. If you're thinking about retirement, start putting money away.
And like he said, you have to plan. We plan for this for years, and we don't frivolously just go out and throw money away. We have always been very frugal and tried to look for bargains, and I cut coupon, all this stuff. We're very frugal with our money.
If we do any flying, we make sure, we try to anyway, to travel on those days where airfares are a lot less. Usually it's like, Sunday through Thursday, you can get airfare a lot cheaper, and try not to go during peak season and stuff.
So as you can see, retiring on less than $1 million is very attainable.
Very.
Like I said, we have nowhere near $1 million, and we're having a great retired life. But here's the thing: we're debt free.
Yep.
We have no debt. So that's a big part of it. You have to plan for that, and that's one thing that we would really encourage people is to pay off debt before you retire. And then all of your money coming in can go for other things. Now, when you retire, you will have healthcare costs, and you have to figure all of that in. It's so important that you do a budget every year and know what you've got coming in, what you've got going out, and then you can plan accordingly to your spending.
So, get that thought or notion out of your mind that you have to have at least $1 million or $2 million to retire and enjoy retirement, unless you're one of those that just has a real high standard of living for yourself, wants a luxury lifestyle, I guess. But probably 75% of Americans, they can retire easily under 500,000, and probably a good 2/3 to 50%, probably at least 50%, can retire with less than 350,000. So this is very attainable, and it's once you start saving, you'll see that money. I mean, it'll grow, and it will grow fast if you're consistent and putting money in each week.
So, like we said, you just got to plan for it, yes. And it's very attainable. Very attainable. And we don't know anybody that has to have $1 million to retire. Although we did get a comment one time, we were talking about healthcare or something, and somebody from California said his health insurance just for him, I think, was like $1,400 a month, and I'm like, what? We can't imagine that.
You might need $5 million to retire or something if you live in California. I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, we live in a part of the country that is very affordable to live. And our housing costs are low because our home is paid off. We have to pay our taxes. We have to pay upkeep. We have to pay insurance. But other than that, our housing costs.
We just got to pay whatever, things break down, whether it be in the house or the cars or whatever. And we're very fortunate.
So if you're planning for retirement, don't fall for the thing that you have to have $1 million to retire. It is all so dependent on other factors. And if you have no debt and you live in a part of the country that is not astronomical to live, you can live well and retire well significantly less than $1 million. So we just wanted to give you that encouragement today, because when you look at videos on YouTube, it's like they make it sound like if you don't have $2 or $3 million in the bank, there's no way you can retire and live well. And I don't know how they're living, but anyway.
Hopefully we tackled the $1 million question today.
Yes. So I'm going to put in the description of this video those median amounts and the averages that people have saved. And you'll see, and hopefully this video has given you that information, that you can know, yes, you can retire with less than $1 million, and you can retire well.
And enjoy retirement.
Yes, on significantly less
just a fraction of $1 million.
So don't let all these online people scare you. You just have to know your income, your outgo, and the budget that it takes for you to live on. And there's many, many people who retire on significantly less. If you have something that you would like for us to talk about in a coffee talk, let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. If you'd like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen